The galaxy had long whispered of a ghost ship, a warship said to move between stars without leaving a trace. Some claimed it was human. Others dismissed it as myth born from fear. The Galactic Council called it the Phantom Vessel, a tale told by soldiers who had seen too much war. But rumors, as they often do, carried a strange power. They grew stronger with every retelling until they became a quiet dread in the minds of those who ruled the stars. Humanity had been silent for years. After the disastrous events at the Orion border, the humans had withdrawn their fleets, their colonies, and even their diplomats. No one saw them again. The Council declared them extinct, consumed by internal conflict. Other species divided their worlds among themselves, seeing humanity's absence as an opportunity. Yet in the outer reaches of known space, faint signals sometimes flickered, encrypted transmissions no one could decode. It was said that those signals came from the hidden human colonies waiting, watching, rebuilding. When the Kethar Dominion began its conquest of the border worlds, few resisted. The Council debated endlessly while fleets burned. The Dominion's ships were enormous, driven by the hunger for expansion. They moved with mathematical precision, erasing resistance planet by planet. Then they reached Epsilon Verge, a small human-colonized planet that had once been abandoned. The Dominion scouts reported no defenses. The invasion fleet prepared for an easy victory. But when the first cruiser entered orbit, the stars around it flickered. Space seemed to twist. Out of the dark came a shadow, a shape that did not match any design in the Council archives. It was a vessel unlike any other. It had no emblem, no transponder code, and its hull was black as void, absorbing the light around it. Sensors could not lock onto it. Communication attempts failed. The Dominion commander laughed, calling it a sensor glitch. Moments later, the mysterious warship opened fire. Its weapons were unlike anything known. They struck without light or sound, pure kinetic force guided by perfect aim. In a single barrage, the Dominion cruiser vanished in silence, torn apart before it could react. The warship moved again, vanishing from sight, reappearing above the next ship. Within minutes, half the fleet was destroyed. Panic spread through the formation. Commands broke down as officers screamed over failing comms. Every shot the Dominion fired missed, as if the very fabric of space refused to betray the warship's position. Then a transmission finally came through. The voice was human, calm, precise, without emotion. "This system is under human protection. Withdraw." The Dominion ignored it. They sent more fleets, thousands of ships strong, to crush what they thought was a single vessel. But when they arrived, they found debris fields and silence. No humans, no colonies, only the wreckage of their own forces, drifting in cold vacuum. The Galactic Council convened an emergency session. Reports flooded in from across sectors. Entire Dominion armadas disappearing overnight. Satellites recorded glimpses of the black ship in multiple star systems at once, which was thought impossible. Some said there were many of them. Others believed it was one ship, moving faster than light could measure. Council analysts searched human history for clues. They found old blueprints, secret programs, and abandoned research projects labeled Project Vanguard. The purpose of those projects was to build a warship that could survive the extinction of its creators. One historian found a report from 2 centuries earlier describing humanity's philosophy after the Orion War. Humans had realized they could never match the other empires in numbers or power. So they built differently. They built for endurance, for patience. They built machines that could think, learn, and wait. The historian's voice trembled as he read the final line of the report. "If humanity ever falls, its guardians will rise." The Dominion refused to believe such legends. They launched their grand offensive towards Sol, hoping to find the heart of humanity and erase it forever. Their fleet spanned half the galaxy, moving in perfect formation. Yet as they crossed into human territory, the stars themselves seemed to dim. Communication became impossible. Ships vanished from sensors. Then came the echo, the same transmission heard before. "This system is under human protection. Withdraw." The Dominion commander ordered the attack. The void erupted with light as millions of plasma rounds crossed space. But when the glow faded, the warship stood untouched. It returned fire once, and the front half of the Dominion armada ceased to exist. Those who survived described a sight they could not explain. The black ship split into dozens of smaller vessels, each as deadly as the original. They moved with impossible coordination, striking with surgical precision. No wasted fire, No sound, only death. In orbit above Sol, the Council's observers watched in silence. They had come to negotiate, not interfere. But what they saw made their hearts freeze. The warship was not alone. Hundreds more emerged from the shadows of moons and asteroid belts. Each bore the same design: dark, silent, lethal. A fleet that had never been recorded, never announced. A fleet that had waited for centuries. When the battle ended, the Dominion was broken. Their remaining ships fled beyond the rim, never to return. The Council sent envoys to contact the humans, but no one answered. Scans found no cities on Earth, no signals, no life. Yet the warships remained in orbit, moving with deliberate purpose. They guarded something unseen, something sacred. The Council began to debate again. Some argued to destroy the fleet before it could strike. Others warned that any aggression would doom them all. One senator asked the question everyone feared. If there are no humans left, who commands those ships? No one could answer. Weeks passed. Trade routes reopened, but whispers spread across the galaxy. Merchant ships reported sightings of the black vessels escorting convoys of refugees, protecting them from pirates without ever asking for thanks. Colony worlds once thought lost began to rebuild under unseen watch. On every world, people began to see a simple symbol burned into metal ruins. A circle surrounded by 3 lines, the ancient emblem of Earth. Then one day, a new transmission reached every world simultaneously. The voice was human again, older this time, carrying a weight of calm authority. Humanity remembers its allies. Humanity remembers its enemies. We ask for peace, not fear. The message ended without coordinates, without a signature. The Council debated for months. Some believed humanity had returned stronger and wiser. Others insisted it was a machine fleet, acting out an old program. The truth remained hidden. But wherever the black ships went, wars ended. Raiders vanished. Borders stabilized. And though no human faces were seen, their presence was undeniable. A Council archivist wrote the first line of what would become the new galactic record. Humanity's silence was never defeat. It was patience. Years later, deep in the void, a lone scout ship drifted too close to a dead system. The pilot recorded faint readings, massive energy sources buried beneath the planet's crust. As he tried to approach, a shadow moved across his sensors. The black ship appeared once more, silent and immense. He froze, expecting death, but the ship only transmitted a single phrase: "Not yet." Then it vanished into hyperspace. The pilot returned with his report, but few believed him. The Council dismissed it as myth. Still, some remembered the old stories: the ghost ship that protected forgotten worlds, the silent guardians of a vanished people. Decades passed. The galaxy changed. Empires rose and fell. But sometimes when a planet cried for help, when pirates struck or fleets invaded, a shadow would cross the stars and salvation would come without warning. The black ships never stayed. They left no trace. Only silence. Generations grew up hearing the legend. To some it was hope. To others, fear. But one truth echoed in every corner of the galaxy. When the sky darkened and the stars blinked, humanity was watching. In the archives of the Council, beneath centuries of records, a single line was carved into a steel plate found drifting near the ruins of the Dominion capital. The plate bore human writing, old and weathered but still clear enough to read. Project Vanguard fulfilled its purpose. Humanity endures. And across the stars, in the deep silence of space, something stirred again. The black warship that had once been rumored drifted past a dying sun. Its engines glowed faintly as it turned toward the unknown regions beyond mapped space. Inside, a voice spoke softly, almost human, awaiting the next dawn. Then it was gone, leaving behind only the quiet hum of starlight and the unshakable truth that the rumor had become legend, and the legend had become real. The galaxy would never forget the day the warship appeared in battle, nor the unseen guardians who proved that even when forgotten, humanity never truly vanished.